What day is it now?
It's a Saturday.
A dangerous storm is about to hit Ellen and Brian's lives, and this time, love itself may become the weapon that destroys them. Secrets are closing in, enemies are watching every move, and the risk of betrayal is higher than ever. Episode 6 of Blood of My Blood is not just about romance, it's about survival. The ending of Episode 5 left us with burning questions, and Episode 6 promises to deliver shocking answers. Ellen has already proven that she is not a fragile woman waiting for rescue. She is a fighter, a dreamer, and someone willing to risk everything for freedom. But freedom does not come without sacrifice, and in this episode, the sacrifices will feel heavier than ever before. The Beltane Festival may have been a celebration for others, but for Ellen, it was a battlefield of emotions. She carried the crown of the May Queen with pride, yet inside her heart, she was suffocating. Every glance she exchanged with Brian was like fire, beautiful, dangerous, and impossible to hide. And now, in Episode 6, the consequences of those stolen moments are about to explode. They were seen. Their kiss was not hidden. And in a world filled with jealousy, greed, and rivalry, a single pair of eyes witnessing their secret is enough to destroy them both. But who is that hidden witness? This is the mystery that will haunt Episode 6. Was it a stranger among the crowd, a loyal friend, or perhaps someone closest to Ellen herself? The truth is, betrayal often comes not from enemies, but from those who smile in our presence. This is why Episode 6 will be a dangerous game of trust. Ellen and Brian must decide whom they can truly rely on, and one wrong decision could cost them their lives. Meanwhile, Brian's struggle is only growing deeper. His love for Ellen burns brighter than the fires of Beltane, yet with every step he takes toward her, the shadow of death follows closely. Secret meetings, hurried whispers, and stolen touches may seem romantic, but in their world, such risks are punishable by blood. Imagine the weight of living with a love so powerful yet so forbidden. Can you see how each heartbeat feels like both a gift and a countdown to disaster? And Ellen, oh Ellen, she is already standing at a crossroads. On one side, the comfort of safety, wealth, and reputation promised by Malcolm Grant, the man she is expected to marry. On the other, the raw, dangerous love of Brian, the man her heart refuses to let go of. But what happens when safety feels like a prison and love feels like war? Which path can she take without losing everything? Episode 6 will put Ellen in deadly danger, but not just from others, from herself. Her own choices, her own boldness, and her refusal to bow down will test her limits. We will see her plan another escape, one far more daring than the last. She knows the cost of failure this time may be unbearable, yet her determination grows stronger. Because love, once awakened, refuses to sleep. But here lies the most terrifying question. Is Ellen carrying more than her own life now? Rumors swirl that she might already be pregnant, and if that is true, the stakes have never been higher. A secret child born of forbidden love would not only put Ellen and Brian in danger, but would shake the entire world around them. For in their society, such a child is not a blessing. It is a scandal, a weapon for enemies to exploit. As Ellen prepares for her escape, shadows begin to gather. Every whisper behind her back feels like a warning. Every smile hides suspicion. And as the night deepens, the difference between friend and foe blurs. She must act quickly, or she will lose everything: her freedom, her love, and perhaps her life. But Ellen is not the only one being tested. Jocasta, cunning and sharp, begins weaving her own plans. She grows closer to Mert, luring him with charm and secrets, and though her face smiles, her heart is calculating. Episode 6 will reveal just how dangerous Jocasta can be. Is she truly interested in Mert, or is she preparing to use him as a pawn in a much larger game? Her motives are slippery, her actions unpredictable, and her presence adds yet another layer of tension to an already fragile story. In the end, what makes Episode 6 so compelling is not just the danger of swords or betrayals, but the emotional knives hidden within love itself. Every character is torn between desire and duty, between what they want and what they must sacrifice. And in that struggle lies the true danger, because the heart can betray faster than any enemy. The dance of love and danger is about to begin, and Ellen and Brian are standing in the center of the storm. Their choices will either bind them together forever or tear them apart beyond repair. Episode 6 is not just another chapter. It is the breaking point. If the first half of episode 6 is about Ellen's determination to fight back, then the second half is about the price she must pay for daring to defy fate. The moment she decides to run again, every step she takes becomes a gamble between life and death. Love is her strength, but in a world where secrets cannot remain hidden, that same love could also be her undoing. Brian, though brave and loyal, begins to feel the crushing weight of fear. He knows that loving Ellen is dangerous, but walking away from her feels impossible. The danger doesn't lie only in swords or soldiers. It lies in whispers, glances, and betrayals. Every time Brian meets Ellen in secret, he risks not just his own life, but hers as well. And still, he chooses her. Isn't that what makes their story both tragic and beautiful? That willingness to burn for each other, no matter the cost. But in episode 6, that fire grows too bright, and too many eyes are watching. Remember that kiss in episode 5, the one that exposed them? Well, the truth is, more than one person saw it. This becomes painfully clear as episode 6 unfolds. Ellen and Brian are not just in danger of being discovered. They have already been discovered. The only question left is, who will use this information first? And here comes the chilling part. Betrayal often comes not from strangers, but from those closest to us. Could it be someone in Ellen's inner circle? Could Jocasta, who is slowly pulling Mert into her orbit, be using this as her weapon? Or perhaps Malcolm Grant, proud and possessive, already knows more than Ellen realizes. The tension is unbearable because every conversation feels like a test, every silence like an accusation. Meanwhile, Ellen's role as the May Queen becomes a double-edged sword. On the surface, it gives her power, visibility, and respect. But underneath, it exposes her to danger in ways she never expected. Her face is known now. Her beauty and her title make her the subject of gossip across the land. And gossip, as we all know, is the deadliest poison. It spreads faster than any arrow, wounding reputations, destroying trust, and turning allies into enemies. Ellen wanted freedom, but fame may have shackled her even tighter. As her escape draws near, Ellen begins to realize that freedom is not simply running away, it is surviving long enough to live without fear. Her plan is dangerous, her timing risky, but the alternative is worse. Living in chains, married to a man she does not love, her heart forever silenced. Yet, there is one terrifying possibility that could change everything. If Ellen is truly pregnant, then she is not running alone. She carries not just her own future, but the future of her child. And that future hangs by a fragile thread. Episode 6 will test Ellen and Brian in ways they have never been tested before. Will they choose to stay together, risking exposure and death? Or will they part in hopes of protecting each other? This is where the true tragedy of forbidden love reveals itself. Sometimes, love is not destroyed by hate, but by sacrifice. And we can already sense that sacrifice looming on the horizon. On the other side of the story, Jocasta's role becomes even more intriguing. Her flirtations with Mert are not innocent, nor are they merely playful. She is setting traps, weaving webs, and pulling strings that no one else notices. Yet, but when her motives are finally revealed, the fallout will be devastating. Mert, who dances in her shadow, may soon discover that he is nothing more than a pawn in a much larger game. And that game may very well involve Ellen and Brian. The beauty of Blood of My Blood lies in these layers. Romance mixed with politics, passion tangled with power. Each character is fighting their own war, but the battlefield is not always visible. Sometimes, it is hidden in whispers, in vows made under the cover of night, in oaths that sound unbreakable but may crumble when tested. When Ellen and Brian pledge themselves with the words, "Bone of my bone, blood of my blood," It felt eternal. But in episode 6, we will learn the painful truth. Sometimes eternal love must bleed before it survives. And so, the tension rises. Every look, every word, every step is loaded with danger. Ellen's escape may succeed, or it may fail, but either way, lives will be changed forever. Because in episode 6, one thing is certain: Ellen and Brian are no longer just lovers. They are fugitives of the heart, rebels against destiny, and soldiers in a war where the enemy is both outside and within. The storm is coming, and it will not leave without claiming something precious. Whether it takes Ellen's freedom, Brian's life, or the fragile hope of their unborn child, one truth stands above all: love this dangerous cannot survive untouched. Episode 6 of Blood of My Blood will not just be a continuation of their story. It will be the turning point, the moment where every choice becomes irreversible. And once the storm passes, nothing will ever be the same again.